Hey, it's Ben with Vassar Village Salvage here, eBay power selling journey that you're watching from YouTube, from your home, from Alaska, wherever. Watching my journey as a power seller on eBay and where are we going to go with it. So, I would just like to say, after my belly aching and complaining on Sunday and no sales, the moment I posted the video, I did a couple $100 in sales. So very happy there. And this week has been insane. It's now Friday, but for the last 2 days, I did $962 worth of sales. And the out of the gate on Monday and wasn't bad. I did a few $100s on Monday. I can't exactly remember exactly what I did, but overall from Sunday till now, I think I've done a little over $1,500 in sales. So it's been, yesterday was insane. Kind of when you ship large items that are over 36 inches, it's a pain to find a box for them. Usually I hoard my boxes from friends, family, or just generally consuming things like UPS. The post office is always dropping off padded mailers in volume or bulk, which you can order right off their website for free, mailed to your door. The backlog for them is, or the back order for them is pretty, it's about a week and a half. But, I always have boxes. People are always buying things, dropping things off. My mother's always dropping boxes off. You go to yard sales. Hey, can I have that box? Fill this up. Thrift stores, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I sold my Thompson Kincaid print, limited edition. I got 200 bucks for it. They paid shipping. It's about midsection zone 2 of the United States in Indiana. Shipping wasn't terrible on it, actually, but finding a box was terrible. It was a nightmare. It was horrible. I went UPS, started moving a lot of my larger items, 10 pounds or more to UPS, just simply because the post office is just failure, 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 failure. I don't know what they did with the $5 billion bailout, whoever gave whatever on July, but it didn't fix any problems. So anybody who thinks that money fixes problems, you look at the post office, because $5 billion didn't seem to set them. I don't know if it was $5 billion. I think it was, I don't know, some obnoxious amount of money that you could run a small country on, and it didn't fix the post office. So today was kind of, just kind of a meandering slow day. Trinkets, filler items sold. I sold a pair of shoes, just some Adidas running shoes. I used a flat rate padded mailer. I will say, nobody does the flat rated padded mailer for shoes, and I kind of sometimes crink them in there. If they were brand new in the box, or really high quality, or if pressure would kind of maybe scuff them, or you didn't want to get a sour taste in the buyer's mouth when they first got them, this was not a hot item. It's all said and done. It's $22. I got them in the filler bag for $5 a day. And a lot of attention, and they were used, they're in good shape, they met my standards. But normally I probably put them on the post office has a by the weight shoebox. And where they're going, I probably could have done it that way. Again, with the back order on those, waiting. So, and the padded mailer is cheap. It's $7.80 to mail that anywhere in the country. So, if they're brand spanking new, I wouldn't try to cram them in there and do that. So, we had a pretty slow day, which I needed. So I sold a pair of size 0 Hollister jeans. Didn't make a ton of money on them. They're like $7. So first tip of the day, I try to keep throwing tips in here, or just things I'm running into. Maybe you run into them. I don't know. We've all seen, if you've seen any of my other videos, my eBay palace is kind of a dumpster fire. I've been so busy with eBay and packaging things. Yesterday, just the ocean of orders that all came in. I was packaging things up and getting purchases and sales and mailing them out, perfect timing. But, again, it takes away from my day. It's funny how you can complain about anything sales or no sales. But it's a time management thing is what I'm getting at. I have not put in enough time just in my own personal life with things around I have to do around the house. Me and my kids, we got firewood in yesterday. It's getting cold. All this week was in the 40s, and it's supposed to be in the 30s towards the tail end of the week at night. So, I mean, there's things that you just need to do to survive, like eat breakfast, common sense things I shouldn't have to make a video about, but maybe it's a personal and visual verbal reminder for myself. So with that said, I have not organized leading up to my first tip. My dumpster fire of a eBay warehouse is a mess. And plus, when I'm done packaging things, I instantly I have to source. you know, I've been sourcing a lot with the junkyards and stuff, and I'm like, I have to source, and with a junkyard, somebody might bring in a pile of eBay gold, and they're going to take a crane and they're going to crush it if you're not there. So your mind's always like, I got to be there. Something might vanish, which, funny story, we say that. When I showed up, the crane had a Husqvarna weed whacker, which, anything brand name, power tools, things like that. It might be, in the death claws of a huge grapple, but obviously I know everybody there. Like, hey, can I have that? That still has value. That cylinder head, the pull cord, all of that, and it's a brand name. It's Husqvarna, so all of that stuff still has value. Just the cover on that selling for $45 on eBay. The pull cord selling for, $30. So it was an awesome score. But so going back to the time management thing, I need to put more time into finishing the eBay Palace and less time focusing on sales and things like that. So usually in that occurrence, I want to move towards an employee, I think is probably the best suited idea. I definitely have the space, don't have the time, makes sense. I definitely have the volume, I definitely have the income. So at what point are you going to hire an employee? I'm at the point of where I should hire an employee. I also have to sit down and figure out financially, can I support an employee and how would I go about that? I think a definite 1099 subcontractor. And hiring people to list things on eBay is not easy. Definitely in this day and age with COVID and things like that. So there's a lot of things to take into factor there. But going back to my tip, I had to cancel an item. Why did I have to cancel an item? Head held down. I'm ashamed to say I can't find it. It happens, I don't know, we're most of the way through the year. It's happened probably about 4 times now, under $20 items. So, that's, all in all, $40, $50 lost throughout the whole year of my own stupidity. Also, I will say it was an item I made a joke about. In fact, I think I know what happened to it. It was a silver-plated tray. 8.5 inches long. It was vintage. I bought it at a yard sale, or I think I got it for free at a free box in a yard sale. I didn't think much of it. It had a really cool logo on the bottom, like something that says I'm brand name. So I grabbed it. I don't normally deal with silver plate. I think it's a joke. Most of the time it is. I throw it in the scrap pile that goes back to the junkyard. So I think I listed it, and then a couple days later, I'm like, that's not going to sell. I'm going to delete the listing. It's a waste of time. It sold for $9.99. It would cost $4 to ship it. There's a potential, after eBay takes out their fees, it's like a $5.50 profit that I lost out on. Partly because that stupid Avon collection that I bought, which, I did send out one lot of it yesterday for $39, $13 to ship. So I'm already seeing a return on that, which I am happy. I paid $50 for all of it. And to be honest, if I devoted selling all of it, it would, I definitely see a return on it. It's just really tasking and time consuming. It was something I wanted to pre-package before I mailed it. It wasn't something I wanted to keep touching. I wanted to take pictures of it, get it in a box, put a number on it, and put it in, my inventory. And that's how I should approach eBay with items I know are going to sell. At some point, we're going to develop a better system. But moving back to focusing on, kind of your foundation, your roots, and where you're going and stuff, being organized is really key. I'm not here to judge people. I'm not here to crucify you. I'm not here to lecture you. I am the worst person at organizing. I think there's about 3 types of organization. There's the one like your wow. They got the numbers. Everything is their OCD. Everything's in a line and an order. You know, all their totes are the same color. Everything's ABC 1, 2, 3. You look down the aisle and you can see it. You know, and then there's like other eBayers who are like, "This is organized. See, I know the Colombian coat's right here. I know where the Northern Osprey brand is right here. I know where the 1940s United States Navy chaps are. You know." But those people, and that's the organized I am. Those people, you know, I can still go out there and dig through a bunch of stuff and know that there's a pile of shoes in a huge tote right in the back corner. I know exactly what kind and which ones they are. But obviously, my system's not exactly working if I have to cancel an order because I can't find a tray. And also in the back of my head, I think I got rid of it in my defense. Okay, so that's one and two different kinds. The other kind of organized is kind of, it's worse than this. It's worse than the pile on my couch. It's everywhere. It's, you know, it's not even a pile on a couch. Like, it's upstairs in the attic, 6 feet to your left on a shelf on the top. And those people, like, amaze me. I'm like, how the heck would you remember that there's, you know, the VCR that's still there that you put up there 4 years ago? Well, no one else has been up there. Why wouldn't it be there? That's where I put it 4 years ago. So those people blow me out of the way, out of the water. You know, it's just insane that they have that kind of memory. So in my head, you know, statistically, no, this is my opinion. Those are the three types of organized. So, going back to my climate and where I live in Maine. It is getting colder. I live in mid-central northern Maine. So I have to start thinking about, you know, things slow down in the winter for us. Our winter is very long. It's compatible to living in the northern Arctic. Um, I have to stop and think, how is it going to be to get parts in January, you know, sourcing stuff at a junkyard with 2 feet of snow on the ground? These are things I have to kind of start thinking about. I have to be prepared for, you know, the weather. I'm not going to be sourcing things during the winter as much as I am right now. It'll almost come to a complete halt. And why? Because I'm pulling tiny little plastic parts that are going to break in, you know, 10 degrees, 0 degree negative weather. It's not profitable. It's a waste of time. And it's a waste of money. So a few things I need to stop and think as an eBayer and as I'm growing and expanding. You know, where am I going to go with my inventory if I can't get inventory? You know, I'm going to have an employee, but I'm going to lay them off in the winter and we're coming up onto winter? No. So I'm already starting to speedball. I definitely need to get the eBay warehouse palace done. I definitely need to get that organized. I have almost 1,600 square feet of utilized space, not including like shelves on the like wall, not including stuff I can hang like clothes. So I definitely have a huge variety of space. So right now, I walk out there and I'm looking at things, and I have all these things I have not listed. I have hundreds, maybe definitely over thousands of items I have not listed. I'm really struggling to try to get to 1,000. I know I'm not. I'm just trying in my head right now to get to 500 listings on eBay, and I just can't do it. I'm back down to like 190 when I was almost up to 300 last week. So, which I'm not complaining. I love things selling. So if things just keep selling and I stay right at here, you know, every 2 days I'm making $1,000. Every, you know, day is 500, and I just have to keep listing, you know, to keep at 200. I'm happy. You know what? Whatever. You know, if I'm flying in my private plane with just my 200 listings on eBay, hey, I'm happy. But, you know, reality is I'm not. A lot of my eBay inventory right now is kind of like, I'd say half of it's filler items under $20, you know, and I'm happy with that. I always need, right now I'm going to list, and I'm going to show you what I found yesterday. I think, you know, so when I say going to the junkyard, salvage yard, Kenny U-Pull, what I'm talking about. But going back to my inventory and things I haven't listed, like this morning I went to a garage sale, dropped my kids off at school, and boom, there's a huge family garage sale. I killed it. I freaking killed it. I got these Adidas shoes yesterday. I paid $13, a little bit more. These Adidas shoes are, what are they? The Pella McCartney, which Stella McCartney. They're a very popular brand. They sell for about $100. In used, they're selling for about $60, and they're wonderful shape. I paid $13 at Goodwill yesterday. Yes, I sourced yesterday. I didn't just source the junkyard. I mean, I have a buying problem. I think we went over that, which isn't a bad problem to have with this gig. So, this morning I got a whole bunch of like pink or the Victoria's Secret brand apparel, which sells wonderful. I got a whole bunch of kids North Face zip ups, fleece. Those are hot, brand new. They're like $60. I got some very nice LL Bean snow pants, and I got a few pairs of shoes. So I'm nonstop sourcing things, and to be honest, I'm sourcing things more than I'm listing at this point. And some days I'll just knuckle down, I'll get 65, 100 listings on, and poof, it all disappears, it all sells, which isn't bad. So I'm at the point where I cannot maintain. I can maintain by myself about 500 items, and it's exhausting. Of 500, I can maintain about $500 a day by myself, and that's working probably 30 to 40 hours a week projectively. By the time I'm done listing, by the time I'm packaging that item, and that's really not including too much sourcing, a little bit. But so if I hire somebody else and I can mesh those profits and figure out where I'm going with these things, I could definitely do better. So I think that's the direction we're heading. The numbers are up, as I keep saying. Numbers are up. I definitely have the inventory. So going back to all my inventory and stuff, what I haven't listed, that's going to go into storage, I think. I'm going to put them in bins. Right now I'm going to cover a few hot items I'm going to list to maintain, just to maintain that $100 to $500 a day. Yeah, $500 a day would be nice. Is that realistic? Not really. Like this morning I've already... it's kind of hard by the time people pay me and stuff, and sales and which day they wear. But I saw a little over $100 hit my PayPal account this morning. So, and I think a few of those items were from yesterday, and people are finally paying them and waking up. But, if I saw $100 a day, I'd be really ecstatic. And granted, that is gross, but by the time I break down that's net, gross, net, whatever. By the time I break down my profit, that could be anywhere from $60 to $85, and eBay taking out their fees and stuff and blah, 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 blah. So, all this stuff that I have been nonstop sourcing is, going to go into storage. So I'll have something to do this winter. Thrift stores and the rest of the world, isn't shut down during the winter in Maine. It's not, they're still open. But the problem is donations are slowing down. People are slowing down. They're staying home. There's 3 feet of snow on the ground every other day. So I have thrifted during the winter, and it's dead. So those are things I'm preparing for. So let's take a look at what I found at the junkyard and what I'm going to list today. So when you list car parts, or quite literally anything, you want a very nice sharp background. You don't want the background to be cluttered. When you take a video, you don't want to see my whole house. You don't want to see stuff. You're going to be distracted. Right now you're not looking at my head. You're looking at my vacuum cleaner. Oh, that's a Kenmore. That's a blah 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 blah. You're looking at my. Oh gosh, does he ever wash the floor? Like, see, so if you really zoom in on focus, now it's just a nice V-match background. You're staring at my head talking. The same thing when you're taking pictures or selling things. You don't want, a whole bunch of clutter. You don't want the buyer to be like, what's going on there? Like, is that dog poop on his floor? Like, I have seen quite a few awful eBay pictures. And to be perfectly honest, if you have 10, you want to stand out with a competition. You're always competing. It's just the bottom line, whether it's price, whether it's pictures, whether it's item. How good's your item, how good's your price, and how awesome are your pictures. So what I normally do is you always, statistically speaking, also too, if you have a white background, it's going to sell over any other background, statistically speaking. Now the margins on that might be really small or they might be a little big. I don't exactly know the complete study or whatever. It's just something I remembered from me education in business school. So you want to flip this bad boy around. This come off a Ford F-150 Lariat. So instantly, I do my clothing. My floor does have stuff on it, and people are going to see that. So it's stuff I need to clean up. But right now it doesn't matter because I'm selling car parts, not clothing. My clothing, my floor is nice. It's a good light color. It's kind of a cream color. It's not really white. But things to kind of remember is you want your floor clean. I sell my clothing on here, but, definitely clean your floor. So going back to what you want to remember, I don't normally clean my car parts. Gauges I'll kind of scuff up Gauges I'll kind of wipe off so you can see, that everything looks the way it is. 9 times out of 10, if you're buying a car part, you already know what you want. You already know what you need. And if you're looking at my dirty car part because everyone else is dirty, and I'm talking used car parts. Dirty or clean doesn't matter in used car parts, it seems. I could be wrong. There's certain applications, like you wouldn't want something dripping with oil and grease. So as you can see with my gauge cluster right here, it's a Lariat Ford F-150. I got it yesterday. The comps on that are about 120 to 150. The Lariat, which is kind of like the King Ranch, is the next one down. It's got a white background to the gauge cluster. It's actually pretty desirable. They're a little harder to find. The Lariat is kind of like the higher end of a Ford F-150 if you think of model lines. So instantly you see I have a priority box underneath it. What do you want to tell your sellers? Priorities used to have the reputation of being fast. So you see my picture, boom. You don't have to second guess. You don't have to scroll. How is it going to get to me? Is it going to go to UPS ground? It's going to take 1 to 10 business days, or is it going to be 1 to 3 days with priority mail? You want to say something. You want a statement. Some people put in a business card. Some people say, they got a whole background of their business logo, whatever. 9 times out of 10, that doesn't matter in my opinion, but that's how I do it. You can do it however you want, but proof's in the pudding. Look at my sales. So going back to the yard sale this morning, nice Adidas shoes, awesome. Comps on these aren't crazy, but in wicked good shape. They're virtually new. Lady said they were too small. Converse, unisex, not a crazy seller, and I didn't pay too much. I paid $1.50. I think I paid $2 for these. The awesome find at the yard sale is a Lulu purse. I'm starting to dabble in purses. The comps in these are $40 to $60. This is used in really decent shape. Most women seem to put all their stuff at the base, and it just gets the bottom gross. So I think I paid $5 for that. So I didn't even haggle. So going back over to my junkyard finds of yesterday, BMWs, Mercedes, anything like that, any German engineered vehicle is all made to come apart with your hand. So you have a broken switch, you can pull off the dash and pull them all out just with your hand and unplug them. GM should take a lesson from them, but we're Americans and we do everything ass backwards. So what do we have? In BMW parts, in Mercedes parts, Jaguar parts, Porsche parts, all sell really fast because they're brand, they're status. They're a status symbol, so they charge status symbol. And also they're engineered by Germans, so it's going to be 3 times as much. So I got some seat switches. They all unplug. Awesome, awesome. Also, when you're at the junkyard, when you see breaker boxes and stuff, it's really hard to test them. I sell them used as is, but this breaker's about $200 if you had to replace it. So food for thought, grab this. So they do sell. They're not necessarily like a super fast item, but... And the best find, coils. Coils on a BMW sell like no tomorrow. They have misfiring problems all the time, and to replace that coil is just holding costs about $80 to $100 brand new. And there's 6 cylinders, so you do the math. And for all of you who don't understand that, that means there's a coil per every cylinder. So, yeah, I see your head moving. All right, awesome, you get it. So, we're already breaking merchandise. Heater control units. Those are a huge popular favorite one for me. Unplugs, really simple. I cut the wires because I was lazy. This is selling for about $100. These switches sell really good on a BMW, etc., etc. I'm not sure why I grabbed a radio. I never touch radios. I do not grab radios. They're not worth anything. I think I had to pull both of those out, all as one. In the BMW, so I don't know, we'll throw it up for half of what everyone else is asking. I guarantee you sold comps isn't that much because nobody cares about a factory radio when you can go to Walmart and buy a beautiful glow-in-the-dark one where you can plug your iPhone in for $25. That is the day and age we are in. And I said I wouldn't do it. I grabbed stupid Ford parts. Yeah, well, we talked about the lariat gauge cluster, so I've been doing okay with Ford gauge clusters. It's just after that, I grabbed a door switch, seemed like they were selling, you know. I did grab the whole front bezel. You know, this whole front bezel sells for consistently for about $80. Granted, you have to match the color, but really, this is a digital one because it is coming in the lariat, so it's, we need it digital. And they're selling. They're selling 10 a day, 20 a day, 50 a day. Same thing with the gauge clusters. So there we go, folks. We probably have all in all about I don't know, probably on the high end, maybe 450, and on the low end, I don't know, on the average end would be $350 worth of inventory right here. So I hope you learned something. I know it was a little long-winded today. Probably not going to make a video for a while. So feel free to hit the like button. I hate saying that. You know, I'm going to go on vacation-ish this weekend, so kind of recharge those batteries. So, and maybe subscribe if any of this is interesting, or just leave a bunch of hate comments below, you know, or put whatever you want. Thank you, guys.